This isn't your average Disney World ride hacks video. This is one that's packed with a lot of fun extras that you're going to want to know about before your next Animal Kingdom trip. Plus, we're going to play a game today, so gather up the family or send this video to a friend who you want playing alongside you, and let's dive into the fun together here on DFB Guide. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. So in case we didn't make it clear enough during our intro, today's Animal Kingdom Ride Hacks video is going to work a little bit differently. Along with giving you some of our favorite tips and tricks for finding the best seats on Animal Kingdom's attractions, as well as cutting down your wait times, we're also going to be throwing in some more niche DFB specific tips straight from our team, and these have helped us tremendously during our park visits. Plus, we're going to have some trivia questions for you to answer after each point too. All the answers will be revealed at the very end. That way you and the fam can tally up your scores and see who is the true Animal Kingdom expert of your group. Ready? All right, let's have some fun. Number 1, Flight of Passage. Without a fail, Flight of Passage, or FOP, continues to have the biggest wait times across the entirety of Animal Kingdom. Most of the time. I will say, I was in Animal Kingdom yesterday, and Flight of Passage had a 35-minute wait time, while Expedition Everest had a 60-minute wait time, which was just opposite day, and I think it's because it's spring break, and sometimes people don't do their research, and they're like, ooh, roller coaster, and they go to that one, and they don't, go to the best ride in the park. Anyway, I digress. Many times, our big line-skipping hack for Disney's heavy hitter rides is to get in line for them early, like during rope drop or early theme park entry, since typically you can knock out those A-tier attractions before their lines get to be too obscene. The only problem with this strategy for Flight of Passage is that most everybody who's using early morning strategies for Animal Kingdom is going to be prioritizing Flight of Passage, so rope dropping crowds for this one can still get pretty overwhelming. When it comes to Flight of Passage, it's actually not a bad idea to wait until later on in the day to get in line for it. Many guests with park hoppers will start their day in Animal Kingdom, but will hop over to a different park later on, since Animal Kingdom does close the earliest of the 4 parks, with no nighttime spectacular to stick around for. This is such a common occurrence, actually, that our free DFB Animal Kingdom Quick Guide even includes a specific half-day itinerary for this park. You can check out what that looks like by scanning the QR code you see on the screen now, or by heading to disneyfoodblog.com/Animal Kingdom after this. Not that we think Animal Kingdom is a half-day park, but a lot of people do prioritize it as such, and we get that, so we've got a plan for you. Anyway, you might find that instead of getting in line for Flight of Passage first thing, getting in line for it by late afternoon and on into the evening could have more chill wait times when all is said and done. Then you can use your early morning time to hit up other Animal Kingdom rides with little to no wait. You might even be able to get on some rides twice in a row before the crowds come piling in. Now, if you'd rather not stress about Flight of Passage at all, you can choose to pre-purchase a single pass lightning lane for it to bypass the main queue in exchange for a much shorter line, which typically costs $11 to $18 per person per ride. So yeah, the tip for this one is save it for the end of the day or buy that single pass lightning lane. But I will say, keep an eye on the wait times throughout the day, because it could happen like it happened for me yesterday, where all of a sudden this extremely popular ride has a 35-minute wait time where we basically just walked on. And now here's our first niche DFB park tip for today's video. It comes from our scriptwriter, Bria.
Hate to break it to you, but sometimes a long wait is just enough for this ride. So what my hubby and I like to do if we find ourselves having to buckle in for the long haul is pull up one of those free online games like Contexto, which is a word guessing game we're pretty much obsessed with right now. Or we pull up one of the latest New York Times puzzles for Wordle or Connections just to help pass the time.
All right, friends and families, ready for your first trivia question? Have a pen and paper ready to write them down. No cheating. Looking up the answers on your phone is not allowed, so hold each other accountable. And feel free to pause the video if you need more time to mull over the question. Again, all answers will be revealed at the end of the video, so stay tuned. Trivia question 1. Which fact about Pandora is true? A, the mountains actually float. B, there's a secret alternative ending to Flight of Passage. C, some of the waterfalls are fake. And D, bao bun flavors at Satu'li Canteen rotate out regularly. Okay, next is Na'vi River Journey. So let's say you decide you don't want to use your early theme park entry time to get in line for the madness that is Flight of Passage. What's a better alternative that'll still help you get ahead of the crowds and use your early theme park entry time to the best of its ability? Well, I wouldn't say steer clear from Pandora altogether. Instead, you might want to get in line for Na'vi River Journey, which is the second ride inside Pandora that's usually less popular than Flight of Passage, but still manages to rack up pretty long wait times throughout the day. Since the majority of folks will be flocking over to Flight of Passage first thing, this could be your chance to get in line for Na'vi with minimum waits. Keep in mind that Na'vi River Journey is a very cool boat ride with an awesome animatronic, but it's also super short, so waiting over 30 minutes might not be the best use of your time. Unless, of course, you've literally done everything else you want to do in Animal Kingdom, and this is the last thing to knock off your must-see list. If you don't prioritize this one in the morning, keep an eye on the My Disney Experience app and wait for the line to drop down to a time you're more comfortable waiting. There's the possibility that Na'vi could keep an extensive queue pretty much all day long, but if it does manage to drop down below 30 minutes, then head on over and get in line. Oh, Dinosaur, we are gonna miss you. We're gonna miss your animatronic dinos. We're gonna miss your bumpy, swervy time rovers. We're gonna miss quoting, "We're not gonna make it. We're not gonna make it." And people actually knowing what on earth we're talking about. But alas, 2025 is the final year for Dinosaur before the Indiana Jones takeover happens, which is why I'll be wearing our dinosaur-inspired t-shirt from dfbstore.com 4 weeks after its official closure. I fully expect my husband to worry about me, but I will assure him that the Dino Tea is my best coping mechanism. If you want to learn more about this major tropical America's retheme that Animal Kingdom has already set in motion, make sure to check out our Big Disney World Changes in 2025 video when you get the chance. For now, we're going to set aside Dinosaur's impending doom, since according to Disney, we still have the rest of the year before we got to worry about it. And that means you're still going to need tips and tricks before you go get that dino, especially if you've got kiddos in your group who are a little apprehensive when it comes to riding this one. Same, kids, same. Now, it makes sense. Dinosaur is dark and loud, and that Carnotaurus is going to come right at you toward the conclusion of this ride. So if you've got someone in your group who's nervous about having a big old dino barreling straight toward them during the ride's ending, make sure those riders sit in the center of the vehicle row. The main Carnotaurus animatronic is going to appear toward the right side of the vehicle. Sorry, spoiler alert. So braver riders can sit toward that side to take on the beast for their group. Sometimes the nerves waiting for a ride are worse than the actual ride itself. I know this 100% because I feel this way all the time. And that's why one of our DFB reporters likes to pack fidget toys in her park bag, like spinners or puppets, to have her kids or, her mess with while they're waiting in lines, just to help them get some of that anxious energy out. Fidget toys are also a great way to kill some time in line in general, since they're relatively cheap and quiet and don't require a battery charge to use them. Trivia question number 2. What chemical formulas are represented on the red, yellow, and white pipes featured in Dinosaur's queue? Is it Coca-Cola, Sprite, and Barq's root beer? Is it Kit Kat, Butterfinger, and Payday? Is it ketchup, mustard, and mayonnaise? Or is it that this is a trick question? These are random sequences of numbers and letters with no correlation to an actual formula. Moving on to Expedition Everest. Yep, we're headed to Asia. I'll be the first to admit that a single rider queue can bite you in the rear if you're not careful, but when it comes to the single rider line at Expedition Everest, that coaster has a solid track record of having a great single rider line that'll give us little to no waits to worry about. But that's the only kind of solid track you're going to find around these parts because, the actual coaster track is going to be torn apart by a Yeti. Bad joke. Really bad. But just remember that if you do use single rider, you will be separated from your group if a group is going with you. And if there's anybody who's not going with you on this harrowing journey through the mountains, they might want to wait for you over at the Discovery River Amphitheater, which is where a handful of our DFB riding team like to go when they're looking for a brief respite away from the theme park crowds. There's really nothing going on over there since they got rid of Kite Tails, so it's just kind of like like a amphitheater just hanging out. Nothing's going on, so might as well use it. Now, once upon a time, you used to be able to watch that Kite Tails show from these bleachers, but nowadays, it's all yours. I hope they do something with that. Maybe bring Kite Tails back. Trivia question number 3. What land or area was originally supposed to open in Animal Kingdom but never did? Was it A, Australia, B, Beastly Kingdom featuring mythical creatures, C, Atlantis featuring underwater mythical creatures, or D, Antarctica? Moving on to Festival of the Lion King. So this is a 40-minute indoor theater show featuring songs from the hit movie performed by expert singers. During each of these musical numbers, you're also going to be able to watch skilled gymnasts and aerialists take to the stage, plus Simba, Timon, Pumbaa, and a few other animal friends are going to come out to join in the fun too. So, big question. What are the best seats in the Festival of the Lion King round theater? Each bleacher section is divided into 4 groups: warthog, lion, elephant, and giraffe. So the section names may seem insignificant at first, and they're really not going to change your experience a whole lot, but you and your entire section will have to demonstrate what noise your assigned animal makes. Just a silly, lighthearted little thing that they do, nothing too embarrassing since you're all making the noises together. But what's more important than which section you're sitting in is what bleacher row you're sitting in. You may feel like closer to the stage is going to be better for your younger kids because then they can basically get up and join in the parade if that's offered. But sometimes the way the bleachers are stacked will make viewing harder for kids who are closer to the front. For a clearer view for everyone in your party, you can head to the back bleachers. That way you'll be able to get an unobstructed view of the whole set. Now, since we're on the topic of Lion King, I'm going to steal this next niche tip from our friends over at All Ears. So there's this shirt, and it's really, really, really popular. Some of you may already know where I'm going with this, but in case you don't, here's what it looks like. We've deemed this shirt as the Disney Dad shirt because it's a really popular one among Disney dads, though we've seen other family members sport it too. This shirt is everywhere around Animal Kingdom. It's almost a meme at this point. Well, actually, it is a meme at this point, but people are still buying it and wearing it there. Now, it's super duper cute. I'm not trying to make fun of the design in the slightest. It's just there are so many of them. So many. It's an army of Disney Dad shirts. So if you want to add a little extra family fun and competition to your day, see who can spot the most Disney Dad Lion King shirts throughout the park. Kind of like finding punch bugs on the road. Whoever racks up the most points before you leave can win a little Disney treat or a pin or just overall bragging rights. Trivia question number 4. How many animatronics are featured in the show? Is it A, 2, B, 3, C, 4, or D, trick question, none? The animals representing each bleacher section are actually puppets. We're moving on to Kali River Rapids next. This is a family river raft ride that'll more than likely get you pretty soaked by the end, especially if there are guests outside the ride blasting you with water sprayers for an extra bout of drenching. Although it's tempting to get in line for this one during the hottest time of day, I wouldn't, because that's when the line for Kali is going to be its longest. You're also probably not going to want to ride this one at night, because even if the lines do get shorter by the end of the day, you're not going to be able to rely on the Orlando sun to help get you dried off, meaning you might have to ride back to your hotel room sopping wet, which can be more miserable and less refreshing, especially if you're taking a Disney bus that's like super air conditioned and then you're just basically freezing. So instead, try hitting up Kali River Rapids earlier in the day rather than later. That way you'll be able to experience shorter lines, and if you do get soaked, you'll be able to dry off as you're walking around in the sunshine. But what happens if you do end up all soaked after the sun sets and you're now rolling into your hotel room at the end of the day sporting moist clothes? There are a few ways you can handle this. For those staying in a DVC villa, you're more than likely going to have a washer and dryer inside your room, which is ultra convenient. Each Disney hotel also has its own laundry facilities though, which you can use at an extra cost. But one of our DFB reporters mentioned that if she's coming to the tail end of her trip and she really doesn't have time to do a load of laundry before it's time to hit the road, she'll just stuff all that wet stuff into a scented trash bag. That way, if things start smelling kind of mildewy, at least there's a little bit of that lavender or warm vanilla scent that's helping to mask things before she tosses the whole load in her washer back home. Of course, for those of you who might be a little more sensitive to smells, a regular old trash bag works just fine too. After all, you're going to toss everything in the wash immediately when you get home anyways, right? So just hold your breath, dump the bag, shut the washer lid, and then breathe in a huge sigh of relief. Trivia question number 5. Which celebrity is featured in the Kali River Rapids mural inside the queue? Is it A, Madonna, B, Michael Jackson, C, Elvis Presley, or D, John Lennon? All right, Kilimanjaro Safaris. You ready to go check out some animals? There are better times to ride Kilimanjaro Safaris than others. For instance, if you ride this experience during the heat of the day, not only is the line hot and sticky to wait in, but once you finally board, there's a good possibility that the animals are going to be hiding or snoozing away, because if you're hot, so are they. Instead of you taking cover if and when it starts to drizzle during your Animal Kingdom day, which is always a good possibility since this is Florida we're talking about, you might want to get in line for Kilimanjaro Safaris instead, since the animals love a nice, cool, rainy day to splash around in, especially the babies. But another good time to get in line for this ride to see as many animals as possible in a single ride through is right at the start of the day, since that'll be the animals' other favorite time to be out and about, feeding time. Much like yours truly, the animals get real excited when food's in the nearby vicinity, so you'll probably see them being much more alert and present during that good old morning rise and shine. Warning, Kilimanjaro Safaris does not open during early theme park entry, so if you want to prioritize a morning ride around the Animal Kingdom Savannah, you can wait until after the park officially opens for the day. Or sure to head up there to Africa during early theme park entry so you can be one of the first in line. Trivia question number 6. What is the outdoor dining room theme featured throughout Animal Kingdom's Flame Tree Barbecue quick service? Is it A, herbivores and carnivores, B, nocturnal versus diurnal creatures, C, predator versus prey, or D, real and fantasy animals? We've made it to Finding Nemo, the Big Blue and Beyond. Now, this is another one of those indoor must-see shows inside Animal Kingdom with live music and colorful characters. And I've got very similar advice for this show to what I had for Festival of the Lion King. You know how when you're in a movie theater, you tend to avoid the front row because you're going to have to crane your neck all the way back to see everything. And even then, something's still going to get cut off and you're going to be left with a crick in your neck by the end of it. Yeah. For the same reasons, we recommend sitting more towards the back and center of the Finding Nemo theater so that you can experience the full effects of the show. Because the closer you sit, the more the puppeteering illusions don't really work. They're still cool from up front, but they're even cooler when you can see, well, everything. One of our DFB social team members, Kate, likes to line up for Finding Nemo about 15 to 20 minutes before the show starts, not only because she wants to make sure her family gets a good seat, but this is also prime opportunity for her group to pull out their Uncrustables sandwiches that they packed in their park bags ahead of time for a nice little afternoon snack or light lunch before the theater doors open. Certain Disney kiosks and quick services do sell these sandwiches too, but they're going to cost you like $5 per sandwich. Meanwhile, if you purchase them from your local big box store, you can get a 4-count of them for about the same price. And remember, Disney's totally cool with you bringing your own snacks to the park as long as they follow the theme park guidelines. Make sure you get your sandwiches all eaten up or at least tucked back into your park bag before you enter the Finding Nemo theater, since snacks aren't allowed in this particular show building. Next trivia question: which coffee should you purchase from Creature Comforts in Discovery Island if you want a portion of your payment to go towards the conservation of cotton top tamarinds? Is it A, a flat white latte, B, a vanilla bean cream frappuccino, C, an iced white chocolate mocha, grande size only, or D, a vanilla sweet cream cold brew, grande size only? So we don't often talk about feathered friends in flight, but we should. This show features a couple of expert bird trainers who teach visitors all about the birds flying around Animal Kingdom. And of course, you can expect lots of guest appearances from the feathered friends themselves. But what makes the show even cooler is how accessible it is. Special sign language showings of feathered friends in flight typically happen on Tuesdays and Saturdays. So if you're planning to visit Animal Kingdom and would like to attend a show with sign language interpreters, make sure you swing by the theater at the start of your day to check on show times. All shows with sign language interpretation will be marked with a symbol to the right of the listed start time. That's not the only entertainment in Animal Kingdom with sign language specific showings though. Finding Nemo, The Big Blue and Beyond, and the Festival of the Lion King, 2 shows we've already shared with you, also have specific interpreter showings too. You can learn even more about where live captioning takes place around Disney World by checking out the My Disney Experience app, the Disney World website, or by heading over to the guest services buildings located at the front of each park when you arrive. Trivia question number 8. There's a second bird show that happens in Animal Kingdom each day called Winged Encounters. Where does this show take place? A, in front of the Tree of Life, B, inside the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail, C, outside the park before you scan your ticket, or D, inside Tiffin's restaurant. Time to take the train out to the conservation station for the animation experience. This is a real hidden gem in and of itself. Not only do you get to take a sketch class led by a live Disney pro artist and learn how to draw one of Disney's fan favorite animal characters, but you get to take your drawing home with you. Hooray for free souvenirs, right? The animation experience happens multiple times throughout the day over at the conservation station. You can find a full list of showtimes on the My Disney Experience app. But let me warn you, the conservation station is located at Rafiki's Planet Watch, and like I said, the only way to get there is by hopping aboard the Wildlife Express train, which is right next to Kilimanjaro Safaris in Africa. The train ride is 7 minutes one way, so be sure to give yourself plenty of time to get over to the show instead of trying to show up for a class at the last minute. Usually, we arrive at the train station about 30 minutes before showtime. Now, one of our DFB editors on the team, Lisa, told me that she'll get to Rafiki's Planet Watch even earlier than that, just so she has time to check out some of the other exhibits in the area, like the affection section, petting zoo, and the science center. This gives her a chance to not only see these different underrated Animal Kingdom experiences, but also to chat with the animal expert cast members nearby and learn some of the fun facts about the critters who call this theme park home. Trivia question number 9. What else can you potentially experience inside the conservation station? A, veterinary procedures, B, animal meal prep, C, a bathroom with poop facts, or D, all of the above? And now, just like I promised, here are all the answers for today's trivia questions. Pause the video to tally up your scores and see who among you is the Disney World champion today. So, how'd you fare? Did any of you out there get them all right? Let me know in the comments who the big Animal Kingdom trivia champion of your group is, and don't forget to download our free Animal Kingdom quick guide right now over at disneyfoodblog.com/Animal Kingdom. You know, as an extra prize. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.